Anyway, talk about the word friend, which is overused a lot. And there's a friend, and then there's really a friend. Some of us are blessed with having more than one. I was blessed with 2 friends. And the key word is was at that point, I guess. And my second friend walked into my campground in 1974, just retired from the Navy, a Master Chief. He said he made Chief twice, which I'll explain later. Anyway, he asked if he could be a fishing guide, because we had a lake out there, and I said, sure. And all of a sudden, people started coming to me saying, this guy is great. He's wonderful. He's just the best thing that ever happened. He's patient. He taught my kid to fish. And we became friends, close friends a little bit, you know. And went on, and at the end of the summer, he says, what do I owe you to me? And I said, nothing. You made people happy. That's great. He'll let me take you fishing. So I said, I really don't fish, because my fishing experience has been drowning worms, sitting in an uncomfortable boat, and rowing. And he said, no, we have a speedboat, and it's comfortable. I get down to the lake, and there's a boat with 2 captain's chairs in it, with a 50-horse motor on the back, and it flew across the water, and he had beer under the seat, and it was comfortable. I caught my first 4-pound bass on a lure. I didn't even know what lures were. And this became a great relationship. We went on for years and years. We exchanged, we went to each other's bar mitzvahs and the kids and the marriages and the weddings, the whole thing. And then about 20 years after that, he changed wives. And the problem was, I said, what was the problem? Because the other one was pretty good. And he said, well, you started depending on making decisions by going to psychic card readers. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, she'd go to a card reader and they'd tell her what to do, and that would be the way she made decisions in life, so I couldn't live with that, so I changed. So I went to a second wedding, and I went on for another 15 or 18 years. And we'd see each other mostly in the summertime. We went fishing. We had a cabin down on the lake. We went fishing in this fishing camp. And we have other friends that used to go with us, and I started getting telephone calls. And the calls were, Jack's drinking a lot. Really a lot. So now I think I'll tell you about why he made Chief twice. Because he performed a act of urination on an ensign's foot. And they busted him from Chief to first class, so he made Chief twice. So anyway, so now you understand that's what we're dealing with. But in that 30, 35 years, he never crossed the line with me. He's ever, we drank, we this, we that, but he never crossed the line. I never saw him as a real alcoholic. And then they were telling me more telephone calls. Jack was now, his wife, the second wife, has told him she can't come back to the house if he keeps drinking. And so Jack moved out, he moved down to the fishing camp, which then burned. He burned his camp down to the ground, which was very sad because we've been going this for 35, 40 years, and it was like something missing in life. And then he moved in with this other lady, and he was on a strict diet of alcohol and Viagra. That was very strict diet. He lost about 30 pounds. And then I got a call one night from his son. He had a massive stroke. And he's at the main medical center. So I called the next morning, and he picks up the phone. So I said, you're okay? He says, well, I can't have nothing on the left side of my body, but my mind's okay. I said, well, that's at least something. And we're talking for a while. Then all of a sudden, it goes totally silent. And I can't call 911 because he's already in the hospital. My first thought was to call 911. And then I hear mumbling. And I said, Jack, I can't hear you. I'll say it clearly. They're all frickin' here. Wife 1, wife 2, and girlfriend 3. We're all in the room. And he wasn't coming out from under the covers is what was the problem. That's where he was going to spend the rest of the time talking to me under the... Anyway, we hung up, and I stuck by him. I really, really did, because he's been a friend for 35, 40 years. You stick by a friend. And he started going downhill more and more, and he couldn't fish anymore because the left side of his body was totally paralyzed. So when I went up to Maine every year to go fishing, we still go fishing, I threw a luncheon party for him. And everybody gathered to see Jack again. And if you think love doesn't hurt, he didn't show up for his own party. And that's the last time I saw Jack.